traded in this lane. Tiki is playing it very well. LeBlanc is known for missing every CS in the game almost. so is going to be down 10, but will almost secure a kill.
Yeah, Biscuits save lives. That trade in the mid lane, I think, was really all in the mid lane. Oh, I say that, another all-in bot.
Oh, Ollie going in for the CC. Amumu with the bandage toss. Red is going to be taking the half stun on Tef is going to do him in. Frozen Incursion
over to P-Sweezy, denying anything on Frozen Incursion. And now there's another person in the top lane trying to challenge the fish.
Who's the top laner in this game? Please tell me. Orphic up in top lane once more. Going to kill P-Sweezy here. Guaranteed the Q for the secure.
Which is a great early buy for Syndrome regardless of what you're playing into, but it's very good because of the Hex Drinker now maybe looking for a trade in the mid.
Very close. He's going to dash to the side. Won't be able to follow this out. The culling is going to get canceled by the bandage toss. The stun onto Lucian with Syndra's ultimate. Ignite from Nami. One more auto. Red's barely getting out of this one alive. Still on in for a trade kill though. Dax is looking to fall just soon after. Tiki with a good roam to help secure 2 for Serenity Center.
And there we go. Now Serenity making the play, actually getting on top of it. They make the macro calls. They actually get themselves some gold, and that's really crucial. Now Orphic maybe going for the die. Oh, misses the ulti again.
Oh my god, the ultimate whiffed again, but he is going to be able to pick up the kill flash out of the tower range and get out alive. I think
Hey, welcome back, FOS. The caster swap is in, but we have returned. And once again, it is me, Found. I'm here to cast these final 3 games, hopefully, or 1, depending on how this transpires. How are you doing today, Brendan?
I'm doing pretty good. I finally got to see some Lucian in the bot lane for FOF, and that always makes me happy. So,
yeah, BBZ has already demonstrated a willingness to play some of the new meta picks. They've already shown out the Yuumi, they've shown the Nami, and I think that's something that has been giving them a bit of an advantage coming into this series. And I'm really impressed because their roster changes. I was a little iffy on them, but I think they are looking a lot better and a lot more cohesive than we saw them previously.
I think that the roster changes is something that should happen earlier, but man, is it looking great right now, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And right away, Serenity Center is going to take off the Amumu. If anyone's been watching Worlds, he has been the trap pick of trap picks. They're super squishy, unable to sometimes get his ultimate off, but I do like him as an early selection. This is going to be Lucian Nami, most likely, if that's going to be the early selection also.
Let's go. I talked to Red briefly during, it was a couple days ago about Lucian. Wow.
Okay, so there was a bug on the drafting client. Someone messed up. We will all leave into the imagination who that person is, Chris. And as we begin moving in, hopefully we'll see if there's going to be any changes, or if the original champs are already going to be a little bit different as Yuumi and Lucian are taken away, so we won't be getting the Lucian, Nami, and the bot lane.
If I don't get a Lucian this game, I'm going to be furious at Chris, NA Production. And
well, he's banned, so you won't be getting it.
Dude, I can't believe this. I'm going to go on strike. As they're going to pick Ezreal. What are they doing? Oh, I'm tilted already, guys.
Yep, Ezreal, safe laner. I mean, I'm not 100% sure about picking him so early, unless you are really sure Hollis needs a really defensive lane. With Yuumi being taken away, and they took it away on their own volition, I'm interested to see what they're going to pair this Ezreal with. Because with Jhin, Leona coming out, that's a really aggressive heavy CC bot lane that can punish even an Ezreal how much range they have.
That's definitely a cleanse in the bot lane that needs to be picked up for their Halos if he's going into this Jhin Leona. Of course, it's a lot of CC, as you said, it's kill lane. I think Ezreal's a bit weak at the moment. I think he's one of the less important AD carries, especially with Lulu. It's not really a good lane, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Ezreal. This is one of the weaker lanes that we can see. It's interesting that you would bring up the cleanse for us. Have you ever heard that Double Up recently had a little bit of discussion on cleanse against Leona, where apparently he feels like it's useless because of how long her CC chain is, and you'll die anyway. But it's interesting. Hopefully, Hollis does choose to go that option because the Jhin W is also a long snare, and Ezreal is already going to be struggling with Leona, who's not going to be able to provide him much earlier.
Personally, I tend, when I'm playing Ezreal, I do not play cleanse because you should not be getting hit by many CCs. I think that having heal or teleport, if you are comfortable with your laner, is much more impactful than cleanse. But
yeah, absolutely. In this matchup, I probably would go barrier or heal as they're never going to 2v2 kill a Jhin Leona unless there's a huge mistake. So just going some more defensive summoner spells, allowing Lulu to have that extra utility of the heal is also very good. But Zach coming in, this champion has been on the brink for quite a while now. I know Tarzan brought him out a lot in LPL. Heavy engaged jungler. If you do not get stomped into the ground early, he's one of the best scaling junglers. He also does AP damage, which is very rare for a tank. So I'm happy to see him bring bought out by the side of Blue Bayou. A lot of CC being drafted up already.
Right now, we see both junglers in the bot lane, and Xin is picked on the side of SCR, which means that's going to be a very aggressive early game jungle who can invade. That's one of the weak points of Zac. He's very invadable. He is very poor against invade, so I need to see Frozen Incursion go into Zac's jungle and hopefully get kills early.
Yeah, absolutely. This is something that needs to be played aggressively. I'm sure Alex is emphasizing how important it is to shut Zac down early, but it's going to be really difficult because you didn't pick any priority for this Xin, so he's going to easily be able to have to play into pushing lanes, and with Ryze being selected up for the mid lane option for Orphic, they're going to need to draft some more priority in this top and mid to even have a chance at playing around punishing this Zac on either side of his jungle.
BBZ does have a really scaling team as well, so I need SCR to have a good early game. Twisted Fate is a good early game champion, so I like that pick so far. You can't really punish Ryze very well, but this is the important pick right now. It's the top lane pick.
I'm glad one of us thinks it's good, because I think the TF pick here is pretty bad. You don't match Ryze very well. You obviously get outscaled, but I mean that was going to happen like pretty much anyway if any other AP mage came in. But Twisted Fate, he doesn't have a lane to play around yet, right? There's a top lane carry. Ollie's going to need to draft up a big one. Hopefully is going to be this Darius. So that is going to kind of emphasize that TF is going to be looking to head to that top side because you don't really want to gank for a Lulu Ezreal. But this is a lot on Pweezy to be a big carry into so much CC. Darius could easily just get blown up in these fights.
Oh, okay. The Gangplank lock. Gangplank right now is really strong, and with the Darius matchup, I actually do not. I played with Jaffe a lot, and I don't really remember how good his Gangplank was, so I'm interested to see how this goes. So we get right into the game here.
Yeah, it can be quite the miserable matchup if the GP does play it right. Player range is, of course, one of the longer range top laners that we have out with the GP always having the gun in his back pocket to get that extra grass proc. And honestly, I do like the way these drafts have ended up in the closure, but it is going to be very difficult to see how Serenity is going to be able to find their advantages because TF is going to be very big. If Tiki can find avenues in, it could go quite well, but if they fall behind, they don't really have much comeback potential.
Twisted Fate's level 6 is really important for the champion in general. If he does not get a kill or get a lead on his laner, it's really hard for him to get back into the game because he's teleporting around the map, similar to like a Shen. And right now in the bot lane, we have a TP for Ezreal and a exhaust for red. So this is it's interesting to see the swaps. Usually, of course, you're going heal, but I actually think exhaust is really strong on AD carries, especially recently in this season.
Yeah, exhaust is definitely very good, especially when you're playing against a Xin and a Darius. If Darius walks into the team fight and gets exhausted, he's basically going to be dead from 100% HP with all the CC that's going to come out. But I'm really interested to see how these early lanes are going to set up because it's really important to get advantages, and frankly, BBZ has been outlaning a lot and getting advantages through that. So I want to hope that Serenity Senate is going to play these early lanes a lot better.
Okay, so Dax started red, which means that he should be pathing towards the bot side, which means that we should be getting a gank from Zac either around level 4 or level 3 on the bot side. So I want to see how the bot lane on BBZ decides to manage their wave. And on the top side, Xin started into the red side, so I want to see how Sweezy lanes. Sweezy lanes into the top side. We're going to see trading right now from Jaffe. And of course, Gameplank's very weak early.
Coming in, Tef is going to get the knockup. That's going to be so much damage onto Hellas. He's going to be forced to flash away as the auto is going to come in. Red's going to pick up first blood. Level 2 advantage on the side of BBZ. Very well done getting that early kill.
Nice, and right there, we talked about it. I think the cleanse could have saved his life right there, but of course, as Ezreal, I expect you not to get hit by CC. When he's level 1, he does not have the E yet, but so very smart to punish the level 2. That's one of the most important things when you're playing bot lane.
Yep, and here's going to be the gank for Dax, finding another avenue win. A bunch of damage onto Tiki already, forced to flash out. Orphic is going to get the extra damage, and the Q is going to land, but the consumption of the potion keeps him alive. So well done on Tiki's end for escaping that gank. But a lot of pressure coming out from BBZ early, and all these lanes kind of suffering, with Frozen and Scourgeon hasn't finding his way in just yet.
And this is good for Jaffe right now. He's getting pushed in. If you're Sweezy, I would like to see him try to make it so that Game Like cannot get pushed in this early just because you want the ganks, as we're going to see a gank here.
Yep, there we go. That's going to be the opt-out because the Orphic is aware that his jungler is in his back pocket. Dax is very close. So that gank would have been very difficult to put off, especially since Orphic does still have flash damage.
This is something that Jaffe has really improved throughout this season. Is I think that one of his worst parts about playing with Jaffe so much is that his wave management sometimes is very poor. I think over the season, his wave management has greatly improved, and we're going to see Dax looking for a gank right here. Zin's coming as well. Both supports. It's going to be a big fight here, man.
Yeah, and there's going to be Tiki getting stunned up. That knockup isn't going to land, though, so there's not a lot of damage coming out on him just yet. Tiki's going to get the shield from the Lulu, who's going to be here first. But now here comes Tef, a bunch of CC onto Frozen Scourgeon, but Dax is the one taking a bunch of damage. Flash in from Dax, picking up the kill on the Tiki. And now there's not enough damage to follow up on anything further. The passive for the Zek isn't even going to be popped, so well done on the side of BBZ, winning that 3v3.
With the flash W right there, I think like BBZ is doing a throwback to Team Beat Boot with these champions. Of course, Jaffe's in the top lane, and Zach, which is a famous pick from Jaffe's friend, Jaffe and my friend Kevin. That's a good fight by both teams. It's a huge improvement from really SCR and moving your support up. Something that shows team synergy and something that SCR has been lacking throughout the year. Unfortunately, they just...
Oh no, Ali's gonna face Sec Dax. Dax is already here. The damage is coming out. Orphic doesn't have any mana though, so the autos are gonna be all that's gonna come through. They're trying to give this over to Orphic, and he will be the one to grab it. So the tilt play is in, and that's a lot of kills going over early with the gold advantage just spreading. And with early gold onto this Rise is gonna be a big struggle.
Rise is super ahead right now, and this makes TF's level 6 even more impactful. He needs to get ahead from his level 6. Hopefully get back into this lane.
Yeah, and this is something even in the lanes are winning across the board. And Jaffe is you can see the difference in style that BBZ is already going with, especially now that these roster changes have made them a little bit more adaptable in their lanes. Jaffe has been a very good weak side player. Now the wave is in a difficult position. He is going to be potentially ganked, but he did place a very smart ward, so he's going to be able to walk away. But yeah, well done to not give over anything on this top side where everywhere else has been bleeding. Jaffe has been kind of on his lonesome for quite a while at this point.
And that's fine for Jaffe. Of course, as you said, we're going to see a fight here.
Here we go. Knockup's going to land. Ali's going to get stunned up. A bunch of damage coming in. Orphan's going to be taking the realm whoop onto the other side. That's going to be the Ali getting out. But now this is Ellis who's behind, under the tower by himself, preparing to be dived. Are they going to choose to go for it? It looks like they're going to opt not to, as the mid lane shove is going to force Orphic to want to walk back into lane. But this is a 2v2 that can easily dive him if this Zenith Blade from Leona lands. So Hella still needs to be very careful, and this is a massive wave that he would be opt to lose.
I think a tiny mistake right there, but not diving him. If they would have dived him, this Ezreal is so far behind. Oh, they're going to dive him right here. Okay.
Oh, yeah, they're going to dive him anyway. Red's going to just go over the tower and just kill him solo. So even without the help of Tef, that is just going to be the death coming in. And now you just have Frozen Incursion by himself. He's going to face check Orphic. Now this is the damage coming in. So much coming out. Now this Dax is getting a bunch of damage from the W while the Knight isn't going to pick it up, but the ultimate is, and Gangplay's going to grab one, and Orphic's going to grab another, as 2 more kills are going to drop over 6-0 to begin the game.
You know, I talked to Red about the role swaps and these kind of things, and he told me how confident he is from scrimming once these role swaps became a thing. Of course, the public was not known about the role swaps, but look how strong they look from these role swaps, by the way. If this isn't a testament to how strong they could be from the very start if they'd done this, then I don't know what else is.
There's definitely some changes that opted into the better side, bringing in Tef, a competent support player that can easily fill Orphic's shoes in that thing, and having a player who's been as mechanically gifted as Orphic moving into the mid lane. Generally, you wouldn't want a support player being there, but you know, last season his top lane performance was immaculate. So I do like these changes, as it's showing a lot of growth from what BBZ has been recently putting out.
Absolutely. Of course, Tef used to be a support player as well, so him swapping into that role isn't that bad. Red, of course, was an AD carry player that we've all known throughout the seasons of FOF. Orphic was one of the best top laners last year. until his swap into the support. And as you said, he's mechanically gifted. Of course, Jaffe's been one of the best top laners in the league at the moment. Of course, there's the reliable Dax, who's one of the best junglers in the league. So BBZ right now, since these role swaps have been looking extremely dangerous, hoping to beat the two top teams of H-Block and UV.
Yeah, absolutely. It is important that, from at least what we've seen from the series so far, their mid game was often their issue, so they would go very too far and give over kills for sometimes less than optimal reasons. So I'm hoping to see some improvement on that, and especially in these later series, as Jaffe is going to get TF ulted, stunned up, a bunch of damage onto him. He's not going to have any reprieve. He's going to flash away. Dax is going to be here, but the dunk is going to come in. And now with Dax in a bunch of trouble, his passive is going to get blown, and his life is going to be taken just shortly after. Tef is walking up. Are they going to continue this fight? And they are going to choose to do so, as Tef is going to just go in, but you are by yourself, man. This is going to be a death for free, as that's a double kill for the side.
All right, this is fantastic. Right before this fight kicked off, I was thinking how...
Well, it's not done yet. Ollie's going to face check Red, who is going to be forced to flash away. Not getting hit by the deadly flourish will keep him alive, but yeah, the fighting just continues.
As again, I was interrupted before I could even finish my point. Good job by BBZ on these rotations. Unfortunately, they were too slow on the beginning, but if I was SCR, how do I get back in this game? I was thinking is... Right now, the only strong lane is the Darius pick, and they go into this, get this Darius 3-0 right now, and he should be getting close to Strybreaker. When he gets that Strybreaker, Darius is very, very impressive, actually, in laning. He will kill you pretty quickly.
Yeah, exactly, and that's where the kills need to be going, but that's the route landing on. The dodges are coming through, and Red has the bullets in the chamber that's going to drop Hallow. A solo kill under the tower again. You don't typically see AD carries diving each other, but this is the second time Red has done it this game.
My boy Red, man, he's looking so much better as an AD carry. Maybe now people see why I've been talking about these role swaps throughout BBZ. Red as an AD carry player is just, he's towards the top of the league.
Yeah, he was definitely a top performer last season, and with Brother Lights in the chat returning, being there to lend his team some supports, you do know that he was the mid lane master who I think Orphic is doing a very good job replacing, so there's the improvement is definitely noticeable. Hopefully the kills will stop being going over. This is Tiki's going to flash into the knockup, and the pullback is here. Orphic is going to miss a Q, so the damage isn't going to be there yet. The shield is also in. Rooted from the Everfrost, but now Orphic is going to be in trouble as he's forced to flash away. Dax is going to be on the other side, and he should be dropping in a minute. Orphic is going to pick up a kill, but he is going to trade that life for himself, so 2 for 2 it looks like at the moment, with the jungle and mid of both sides dying.
Now, if you're on SCR, you got these kills. What are you going to do with it? Hopefully, you can push down to the mid lane, and you can hopefully get this Rift Herald in time.
Yeah, this is going to easily be a Rift Herald play. No junglers available, so Smite Secure is going to be unavailable for the moment, but Dax isn't going to be heading towards here. You see he's running towards the bot side, trying to pick up those counts, and this is going to be a 2v3 at best, if that is the option that's going to be looking for. And frankly, a Gangplank and Leona aren't the highest DPS, so you might not want to opt into that just yet.
Okay, and I'm interested to see where they put this Rift Herald, because I believe Rift Herald is best put into the mid laner, or the mid lane turret, excuse me, especially if Twisted Fate opening up the map for him is really important, but I think in this case, I think funneling the gold into Sweezy, who is right now the only champion on your team that's ahead, is probably the best bet for your team.
Yeah, I think this Darius is the last hope for Serenity at the moment, and he has so much to eat through, so much to chunk through, so he needs to get as much gold as possible. I would opt to. As Orpheus going to be in trouble, he's pushed up without no flash. You're here by yourself, man. You're going to give over a kill. What are you doing? As that's the death coming in. 2 deaths onto this rise, and frankly pushing way too aggressively. And now this is a good opportunity to get some gold onto Tiki as this Rift Herald is still available.
Unfortunately, that death right there looked like a misunderstanding of the role at the moment. Of course, he used to be a top laner, and then he swapped into the support. I think that him being pushed up that far as a mid laner is almost a rookie mistake. I think that he will, of course, mitigate that mistake as time goes on.
Yeah, now some plates are going to be going over. Ollie's still on the roam flap. Jaffe's going to be in trouble. Ultimate from the TF is here. Tiki is going to get the stun. Oh. The polymorph is here. Jaffe's taking a bunch of damage and is dunked down. Psweezy's going to pick up his 5th kill. And now Orphic has TP'd in. He's TP'd into his death as the 2nd kill comes over, as the Dunk Master is here. 6 kills already for the Titans Psweezy, who has so much gold in his pocket.
Twisted Fate teleported in there, and he actually yellow carded the tower, and they still won that team fight. Great roam by Lulu out there, who's actually been really good. And Twisted Fate, I told you, man, he's doing good right now with these roams, especially. This is how you get back into the game. 117's pretty good.
Jeez, why you gotta be so mean to them, man? I saw the yellow card on the tower too, but I was gonna cut him a break if the kills come in, and Tiki did manage to achieve that. Gotta be. He tanked the tower, so he was there for as a body.
The play was good. Don't get me wrong. The execution a bit bad. As you see,
he's to use those targeted clicks, guys. It helps with avoiding hitting the tower.
That is something that actually I only recently just added into my repertoire. Is actually getting the target champions thing. I think I've added it maybe I think a season or two ago. It's actually really important to stop those kind of things. But of course, it's not a big deal. The roam itself was fantastic. The only bad thing he did was gold card in the tower, but it's not a big deal. Like I said, I think the kills anyway.
Yeah, and a bunch of gold onto this. There, shutdown's going to be a massive in gold investment if BBZ is going to opt towards it. And I think we've yet again seen my trepidation with BBZ is that they've often found themselves throwing some mid games where they didn't need to. They were so far ahead, 6-0 at one point. Now the kill score has evened up. Still almost at that 1.5 gold ahead, so that is a positive on that end. But basically, the major disadvantage is going to be in this bot side where this Ezreal is barely more useful than a cannon minion, so at the moment that's what they're waiting for. But if Hollows manages to find his way into this game, there's going to be a big avenue for catching. As this is going to be in trouble, and he's just gone. Orphic finds the pick and roots him and stuns him for days. And really smart on the side of this Rise picking up a kill. That could mid tower breaking off.
This is one of the few issues with picking Xin is that when he gets behind, he's just really far behind. Very smart by BBZ to force out and deny vision on their own jungle and deny Xin from farming his own camps.
Yeah, the gold allocation is basically entirely on this Darius. The rest of the team is probably 4,000 to 5,000 gold behind. At least 1,000 on their enemies. As now, this is Ezreal in trouble. Arcane Ship's going to be available, but that's not going to be enough at the moment as Zac is still on the chase. Root's going to land. Orphan's going to find it, and the damage is here. Huizi is going to be on the bot side, and he's 2v3. Now with Tiki finding us, now the damage is coming in onto red, and the dunk is in. The trade is over, though, so the shutdown for the gold is going to be worth it as the major carry for the side of Serenity is going to die. And now the fight continues. Tiki's going to be unable to dodge Dax, and Dax is going to find it as the blobs are coming in nice and slow. Tiki's trying to cut it out with the gold card, healing up with his potion. Dax should be collecting this up quite shortly, as there it is, the last Electric Slingshot's going to land, and another kill picked up for the jungle.
Unfortunately, that fight right there is something that SCR really, as a team, I think it's a culmination of a lot of their issues. I think they make a lot of the right plays. I think they're just a minute or 30 seconds behind. That play, that's really good if you can get the TP before that. Unfortunately, just Halos just died immediately.
Oh, here we go. Ollie's going to be in trouble. Walking in, face checking, almost for no reason. Forced to flash away. And is he going to be able to make it out? Solar Flare is going to lock him up. So the CC's still coming in, but the stopwatch is available. This fight is going to go into the favor of BBZ at the moment, but the turn is quite good. A bunch of damage coming in, and BBZ's here. The resets are going to be available if the Carrot's Kill comes in. That's going to be the first one. Darius is on the tread, and that's going to be the flash. The damage isn't going to land. Is Darius going to be able to dodge it up? Orphic is looking for it. The last shot comes in as Red snipes him down, and Dax is going to have his life be saved by that last bullet.
Unfortunately, Darius did not have the resets on his ulti, and he just goes down by a nice Jhin. Shot slowing him down. Of course, Orphic not leaving his jungler, which is just... I'm really surprised that Dax did not go down there.
Well, the pass did go out, but yeah, actually the Q wasn't unable to land on all the blobs, so with that last shot, the fancy features weren't there, and BZ, that's giving over another kill. He's given over 2 kills back-to-back. Big shutdowns grabbed both times, so now he's back to 0 neutral on that end, but when your major carry is giving over kills, you saw this gold lead is already expanded, now closer to 3,000 than it was previously, so hopefully Darius is going to be able to find someone, because we want a series voice, and they're going to need to, Serenity's going to need to perform better if we're going to have it.
So interesting that Sweezy decided to go to Goredrinker. If I'm not mistaken, he either goes Triforce or Stridebreaker. I have not seen Darius go Goredrinker. I'm interested to see how this goes out. I think he really should have opted for the Mercury Charge with so much CC on the side of BBZ.
Yeah, I think the Mercury Charge would have been a good investment. The Goredrinker is quite good in this game because you do Zac and Leona will be on you the majority of the time. Pretty decent healing you can get off of just those two alone if you manage to get a Q Goredrinker proc, a lot of HP that you'll receive, so... on that end, that is quite useful. Now, he is going to be into a composition where he's outranged by basically everyone, so that's always going to be a struggle. But I mean, he's not accelerated on CS either, so it's basically all these kills, and they're going to need to manage to leverage that into something further. As this team fight for this Rip Herald is going to break out, Tef is going to flash check. The dash in is going to be a bunch of damage. The stun is landing. Leona taking a bunch of damage. Is the first reset going to come in? The first duck comes in. The second duck comes in. Dax is going to drop. That's 2 kills already for the side of Darius. And now here's the third one. That's a triple kill already as Jaffe just meanders in to give his life over. And once again, BBZ a little too aggressive on that contest.
Oh, is there going to be more fight here?
Yep, it is an opportunity. Dash in going to land, but that is going to be the Gale Force out. Force Shot is not going to pick up Frozen Currents, but Orphic is doing a immaculate job of playing his ranges, kiting it out, and now Puzweezy is going to be forced to walk away. Ollie's going to get stunned up. Another kill giving over. Realm Warp available. Is this going to be the triple kill? Orphic is going to be there, getting the extra damage, and Rise is going to grab that triple kill.
Orphic and Red played that team fight incredible, making sure to stay out of range of their abilities and being able to auto Orphic with a nice Realm Warp there to, of course, finish out the kill on Sweezy.
Absolutely, these two have been the duo to save the game. The rest of the team is running it, but these two are not. 3 deaths on the Orphic, 1 onto Red, and basically everything else is congested up onto all of the other members. Now, Serenity is in a bit of trouble with this tower going to be breaking. The gold lead has expanded. The Rift Herald was taken up on the side of the Serenity, but they haven't been able to leverage this TF for much advantages after the preceding early fights, and the kite is always going to be there that Puzweezy is going to need to be concerned about. So this game is not getting any easier for the side of Serenity.
It's definitely not. I think the only way they win team fights at the moment is if Sweezy gets a lot of resets on his ulti. He is pretty strong right now with the Core Drinker build and the Sterix as well. So if he can get these resets off, hopefully they can do something with that.
Yeah, that's always an option. We just saw how it's possible for Serenity to win these team fights if Sweezy is managing to stack himself up for free. You saw he got 5 stacks off of Leona and was easily able to transfer that to everyone else. That's generally how Darius would like the team fight. 30 seconds on this Ocean Drake. This is going to be so point. And frankly, I don't even know if you want to take this. If you're on the side of Serenity, I think you probably should use this Rare We'll try to open up some gold elsewhere because this team fight is going to be quite difficult. But they are grouping as if they are looking to contest, so this is going to be a 5v5. And if this one does not go on the side of Serenity, that could easily be the game.
But then BBZ has done really well this game is denying vision and trying to hopefully contest choke points, as unfortunately let him walk right through one.
Going to be the knockup going to come in. That's going to be Tef getting caught out, unable to X-Splash over the wall. First death already coming in. Going to pick up another one. And now with the Rip Herald pushing onto this mid lane tower, it looks like BBZ is just going to give this. Yeah, there's going to be unable to take this fight. This is not going to be the best option, and the teleport is going to come in even to match top. So well done on Serenity to get as much as they can off of this, but it looks like they're setting up for a team fight as Tiki's going to flash in. Red's going to get stunned up. The Protova is there. The damage is coming out. Red's forced to flash away. A bunch of damage coming in. Tiki's going to be the first one to drop. He's trying to get as much damage out as possible as he's going to be able to. The last Q is going to come in. He's going to get picked up. The knockup is going to go, and Zach is going to grab it. And now as the fight continued, Orphic is cleaning up as he is just been free hitting the remainder of the fight. Realm Warp is in. Ollie is going to be dodged out, and that was a bug that we are not going to discuss because we have no chrono rate, but that was the bug of the century as Ollie's life is going to be traded over thanks to Riot Spaghetti God.
What the? Okay, that was for sure a bug. We're just going to not talk about that. Great peeling by Dax right there. I have no idea how he managed to get out of that. I don't know if that was a spectator bug or in-game bug, but good peeling by...
That looked like the old school Realm Warp in-game bug where sometimes you're in the circle and it doesn't transfer you for some reason. It took the Rise, but it did not take the Zac. And if you're Ollie, you gotta be upset about that where a bug gets you killed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now the fight is on. Gold card is going to be available. Orphan's going to be the one who gets stunned up. A bunch of damage coming out. The Rise is going to be in trouble. Forced to walk away. Blue card's going to land. And now the extra damage is going to come in. Jaffe's forced to flash away, but his life is still going to be forsaken. And the rapid fire cannon is going to be available. Tef is going to be in range in just a moment. Are they going to be able to find it? And yes, he will. Stun is there, and that's going to be easy picking up another one. As the flash comes in, and Tiki is going to be the one to grab it. And the kills are just traded over. And this is a really early initiative that's going to just be funneling gold into the side of Serenity. As now they're going to be looking for this Baron. And it's going to be up to Dax whether or not he can even steal this.
Alright, they can get this Baron right here. They're back into the game. This is really big for them. they're going to maybe have the 55th. And of course, Zach is a very strong jungler when it comes to steals. He can E over the wall and hopefully get a smite steal, as we're going to see the curtain call opening, just getting poke damage off. Nice blocking by SCR.
Yep, this is the flip of the century, and there's going to be Dax going in. He's not going to get the steal, and a bunch of damage coming onto this Zach, and he's going to be in the death chamber as well. So the kills, the Baron, and the gold has gone back into Serenity's favor, at least a little bit. They're still quite far behind, but a good series of events for this side of them.
Taking the Baron is really big for them. Of course, they have wanted him down, which is actually just more of a funneling gold for them at the moment, just because there's no way that BBZ can potentially run it down mid just with the Baron up. Potentially, they could win the team fight unless SCR messes up a bit. So this is really good. Right now, getting the Baron is really just giving them time, hopefully making that gold lead shrink a bit.
Yeah, that is the hope. There's a lot of gold to collect up onto this map. There's no towers taken for the side of Serenity just yet, so if they're able to open up any of these, that's a decent gold infusion that can make this game slightly closer than it is. They've already demonstrated the ability to win team fights if Orphic does get locked up, and they utilize this TAFCC to an optimal percentage. They don't have to be perfect, but they just need to be decent, and with this Darius being so strong, there is an avenue as Red's going to be forced to use his Gale Force, so a long cooldown on that one.
Also, the Gangplank timer is fastly approaching right now. If he's one item off his IE, which is a huge power spike for him with this build. That is 60 crit. Of course, that's when IE really becomes an item, of course, with the 60 crit. And right now, he's getting close to it. And once he gets that, he's going to do a bunch of damage. He will potentially one-shot somebody.
Yeah, absolutely. And we got to give Brendan credit because he knows IE turns on the 60% crit, but for some reason, players at the World Championship do not. But, you know, baby steps, you know, reading items is very difficult even for pro players. Dax is going to get caught out. It looks like his camera wasn't even on him, so Puizi is going to get a bunch of damage. The dash up, but the disruption is here, and now the flash away, and Tiki's going to get the gold card over the wall. That's the auto attack move, and that's going to be the Zac dropping, so a big kill given over with Baron buff still available. This is a lot of gold that's going to be just collected up, as now Orphic is going to be looking as, for some reason, Halos is in the bot lane, top side, doing nothing while his team is sieging, but yep, Tiki is going to get rooted up, and the fight's going to be opened up. Tiki is going to be the first one to die. Red finds the snipe, so much damage coming in, and yeah, you're just wondering, where's Halos?
Yeah, that's unfortunate by the Ezreal not being of this team. On the bright side, we're going to focus on the positive. That was very good mechanics by Sweezy and Tiki there, by stopping the Zac from jumping out, and unfortunately, they just try to push their luck too far with the mid, as Halos is just going to die here.
Yeah, he's by himself, 1v1 with Orphic, but the mini wave is too big, gonna force the Rise to walk away. And now the fight is still an option. Lulu is gonna be available with 2 decent carries to buff up. If they do choose to go for this, Dax is gonna be on the way. Now, Halos does have TP, and he should be utilizing it as soon as possible if they are gonna be opting into that fight. But there's a lot of minions being pushed into their mid lane, so they don't have much time to prepare for this. And this is only Soul Point. This isn't something that's necessarily a forced fight.
Yeah, right now, SCR just needs to give this away. Giving up the Soul Point is, of course, it is giving over a Stranglehold, but Soul Point for Nexus will take the Soul Point.
And, you know, on the positive, the Ocean Dragon is one of the mathematically weaker souls, generally, with the speed of team fights that we have now. The Ocean Soul healing isn't as detrimental as some of the other souls can be, so if there was ever a soul to give up, Ocean is one of them to do so, and I think that is where Serenity is probably going to have to be looking with this next C he's going to be putting out, and they're completely out of position. Tiki's in mid lane, ultimate available, but yeah, they are not ready to match this, as Tef is going to be looking for the engage. A bunch of damage come in. Tiki is going to be going in first. That's going to be the stun. The roots landed onto Orphic. He's taking a bunch of damage, and he is not going to drop yet. Gale Force is going to be forced out, but Red's going to get pulled out anyway, and his life is just going to be traded. So this 80 carry and mid are both dead, and this is just the fight that Serenity has been looking for. Dax taking so much damage, forced to walk out. He is not going to make it, and Ezreal is going to miss every ability, but that's still going to be enough, as Zen is going to pick it up, and Puizi is going to pick up yet another kill. 14, 4, and 6. This Darius is massive.
My boy Sweezy, man, me and sometimes my editor Antunes talked about who we think the best person on the team is for SCR. Of course, I'm just talking to myself because Antune does nothing, and I said Sweezy is the best person on SCR. And right now, he's proving it. He's just trying to 1v5 right now. He is the raid boss of SCR at the moment.
Wait, Antunes is your editor? What?
Sometimes. For
Okay.
power rankings.
All
Sometimes.
right, well, clearly I need to hire him to work for me because we are looking for editors around here.
No, you don't want to hire him. He just shows up randomly sometimes. And then he just
man.
looks at my jokes and he's like, yeah, this is probably not okay to say. And then he just gets rid of it.
Tell him he's the PC police. That's what he sounds like.
He does
Somebody gotta be. As Red's gonna face check and he's gonna find himself into the ground, so clearly he wasn't ready. And with that kill going over, this is a siege being opted out. The picks are coming in, and BBZ has not managed to close out the game with the early lead, and the goal is right back to even. So well done on the side of Serenity for finding multiple picks to keep them in it.
All right. That could be game here, honestly, with this push.
Dub dash in, the speed is going to be available. Orphic is still here. A lot of wave clear on this rise. It is very difficult to push in without the Baron buff with such a high AP burst champion to be able to wave clear as quickly as it can. Halos is on a better clip than he was previously. 2 items as Ezreal is going to be useful in these fights. So the scaling is now coming into advantage. But frankly, this is going to be still quite difficult for the side of Serenity if BBZ manages to get their order together and collect themselves up a decent fight.
Regardless of how this game ends, I'm really impressed with SCR's fight and their ability to come back from really a huge deficit in the early game. As we're going to see a TP right here by Orphic. But they're refusing to go and lose this game, not going qualitatively into that good night, man. I'm really impressed with them. We're going to see the Bushwhack strat, and
oh no, this is going to be the face check, and Orphic's going to be the run. Both carriers are grabbed, a bunch of damage, and now this could easily be the game. So much damage, Orphic's going to drop. Red is already dead, and so many bodies are no longer making it. That's a double kill picked up for this Ezreal, and this is going to easily be another one, and this just might be the game. I don't know if they have the minion wave necessary to do it. Jaffe is still alive with some wave clear available. It looks like they are going to opt to go for the Baron. But yeah, again, another one team fight. And geez, Serenity's putting on its own that they are ready to fight.
the Bushwhack strategy, the old Fnatic strategy working out. Of course, Sweezy with the flash, and he pulls both Orphic and Red, the only people that really matter at the moment for the side of BBZ in, and he immediately smacks him. Really good TP by Tiki. It's very fast by him from clearing topside and immediately going. See Jaffe just looking at Sweezy right now.
Yeah, and that's going to be smartly left, letting the inhib stay alive. You don't really need it for pressure. Mid lane it is the most inefficient to take. And you saw earlier, I mentioned, taking that inhib so early punished BBZ a little bit. That's a lot of gold that they just funneled into the side of Serenity. And frankly, you just give over a lot of extra damaged items that should not have been there. And with Ezreal Basin, he's going to be on 3 items. Darius is going to be on almost on his complete build. And with the Magi's coming in for Twisted Fate, this TF is going to be a damage threat soon. So the scaling is here, and with the damage, Pick is going to be a little bit of trouble. Tiki is going to dodge everything. Ultimate's going to be missing. Dax is going to be forced to dash away. And a little bit of tilt on the side of BBZ uses their abilities haphazardly.
Okay, as we're going to see SCR just forced away into the choke point and get full control over this dragon right now. Of course, mid lane is pushing, and this right here is the fight. Whoever wins this fight is probably going to win the game. So both sides are going to be a little hesitant at the start. Dax right now is a little low as we see Ali leaving, and I think it's going to solve itself.
Yeah, but he's going to come back, and this is not the fight to take. Dragon's going to be taken over nice and easy. Mid lane push is going to be available, so that's going to slow down this Baron siege, as they are going to have to hit that recall button, get these waves into a better position. But yeah, this fight is you're not in the position to take this fight just yet. Jaffe is quite strong, 3 items on him, IE collected up, and even though we do have a many freeze, this is going to be the opportunity for Serenity to get a big opening. Now that they have an open inhibitor in the mid lane and there is some options available, with this Baron still having a little bit of a timer left on him.
Gone by BZ for not going and funneling and trying to fight that dragon. Of course, they do have a stronger late game as Gangplank finally gets his IE, and that IE turn on is very big for this Gangplank build. He will do a bunch of damage if he can get a barrel chain off.
Yeah, that's going to be need to be the option. Jaffe is going to get slowed up just a bit, unable to walk away. Tiki's going to get the stun. Teft is going to be rooted up. A bunch of damage onto this Leona, who is now going to be going in. He's going to miss the Zenith Blade, though. And now with the shots coming in, a bunch of damage onto the follow-up, and this Darius is going to have to do a lot. The fight is on. Dax is already in his passive, and a Resurrection is going to be on one side. Jaffe's going to be getting low. Now the first reset is going to come in. Freelance is going to die. Shut down for the side of red. Big damage on that fourth shot is still available. And the dash in is going to come, but the auto onto the minion is going to let Tiki keep his life. And with the W, Deadly Flourish not picking it up, this is going to be the back forced out. A big fight, a 1-for-1 trade. A jungler is going down, but frankly, the health bar advantage goes to BBZ.
Yeah, unfortunate by Red right there, but that fight was really about Jaffe's barrel chain at the very end. That's really what saved the fight. Slowing down the entire of SCR and doing a bunch of damage to push them off of the team fight.
Yeah, it almost picked up 2 kills. Tiki almost found himself dropping to that. But this is now a 5-item, 20-stack Magi's TF, who has not gotten shot down in quite a long time. So them gold cards are going to start to hurt. And if Tef walks up like that again and doesn't manage to land anything, as Tiki's been playing so aggressively right on the edge of every fight, this is getting quite difficult to be a Leona, be a Zac, where the CC can easily just be your death.
That is absolutely right, as we're going to see them hopefully clear out vision on the side of BBZ's jungle. At the moment, they're very weary of a bushwhack, which is exactly what happened. Is that one fight in the Baron that really almost made them lose the game. They're going to see them clearing out vision, but Baron's not up for another 2 minutes, and Dragon's not up for another 2 minutes.
Yeah, really early setup. Really early setup. You should most likely looking to get some of these waves pushed in, and that's exactly what the side of Serenity is going to be doing, as they're going to try to get this bot lane shoved in it so they do have some pressure for this next dragon, because this is going to be their sole point if they do manage to collect this up. But at this point, they're just trying to deny it for BBZ, because the 3 stacking Ocean Drakes is not going to be too beneficial for them just yet.
Orphic has completed his cap, of course, the death cap, so he is going to be pumping out a lot of damage now. And unfortunately, the SER, the longer this game goes on, the more that this Gangplank is going to hurt, the more that this Jhin is going to hurt, and the more that this Rise is going to hurt. So they need to start closing out this game.
Yeah, the AD carry difference could start to be pivotal. Oh, and this could just easily be the throw that causes the game. Puizi's going to be in trouble.
Nice.
The Q is not going to land. He's trying to dash and just live as long as possible. His team knows that they need to push. Puizi is going to get stunned up. That's going to be the Gargoyles. He's going to get a big shield. The healing is going to be there. Darius is doing as much as he can. So much shielding on him. He's still alive. And frankly, they're taking forever to kill him, but they are going to grab him. And that is going to be the shutdown. Tiki has teleported in. He is going to grab away this inhibitor. So smart on that end to get something back. But now Jaffe's going to be in trouble. Halos has him cornered, and a bunch of damage. Shield Bow already popped. And with that last barrel not landing, Ali is on the chase. This polymorph is going to be pivotal. The oranges aren't going to be available. The ignite is going to be there, and that's going to be the death, the shutdown onto Jaffe.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Jaffe just got caught doing Jaffe things right there with times where his brain just elapses and he doesn't really understand what he's doing. Nice mechanics by Halos, not getting hit by the barrel chain as well. And Ollie, who's, by the way, has had some fantastic roams this game, especially on champion. It's really hard to roam on in Lulu.
Up here's the dash, and that's going to be the Gale Force used. Halos does manage to dodge the Deadly Force. Well done onto that end. But here comes the fight. Ollie's going to get face checks. He's going to be the first one to die. The autos are coming through. Orphic is going to find it, and that's going to be red. Getting the shutdown onto the Ezreal. 2 kills picked up, and this is a bit of a throw for the side of the Serenity, who had been performing so strong as a team previously, and now they're going to need to test this Baron 4v5.
All right, that's huge by them for winning that team fight and getting the Baron. A lot of these team fights in general have been during when objectives not up and they can't take much. Now with BBZ getting their first Baron of the game, this is really big for them.
That's going to be Jaffe just using the Gangplank ultimate to block off the path, not allowing them to get in. Face check onto Orphic. He's going to get dashed in. He's going to get rooted. Orphic's going to be the first one to die. Darius on the reset train. Now Tef's going to need to get out. This flash in is going to be here. Red's going to die too. This is a big team fight that has not gone into the favor. Serenity is finding everything, as that's going to be 3 kills picked up in just a moment. I don't expect Tef to be allowed his life as the flash comes in, and that's going to be him picked up. Now this is just bases that just need to be stopped. Come on, Frozen. This is your only opportunity. This is what you need to do. Get into that. And he's going to choose to not do so as well. Allow the bases to get through. Now Dax is here. Dax and Jaffe are going to need to defend. This is quite possible with the barrels, but the first barrel is going to go down. Otto's coming in. The tower is there, taking a bunch of damage. And now that's going to be the first one going down. That's going to be the second one coming down. Big barrel. Tiki's still alive. Dax is doing all he can, but taking way too much damage. As that is the first kill going over. Tiki has dropped to the first barrel. Weezy is still alive, getting a bunch of damage onto Dax. It's going down quite slow. Hellos is getting the autos in, but Serenity is going to grab up the game and make it a series, as we will have a game for today.
Weezy and SER refusing to go quietly into that good night. What a comeback by them.
Yes, absolutely. Good soldiers don't go out with weakness. They go out in strength, and Serenity showed that they still have some left in the chamber. Very well done on this on their side, with Weezy doing it all, picking up 18 kills and only 5 deaths. Fantastic on the side of him. A former BBZ member sticking it to his old team, as he does manage to pick up 1 win for him.
What a fantastic win for the confidence of SER going forward. And they are going to make this. They are going to make this a series. They will not go quiet.
Yeah, absolutely. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be taking a short intermission before our next match. Please stay tuned, because Silver Scrapes is still on the opportunity. It is still on the cards if Serenity manages to put together one more win. And frankly, I can't wait to see what we're going to have in store for us in the next match.
Blue Bayou Zoo has been a returning team to the league for ages and ages and ages now. I'm excited to see this team who has grandfathered themselves in to the Luna League and really take it by storm. They fell just short to UB last season. I'm excited to see them take the reins now that both teams are back in the playoffs again. And hey, maybe we'll even get a rematch. Their biggest weakness for BBZ is definitely their confidence overall. I've seen these players play for 2 different seasons now. I like what I see from them. I feel like if they ever drop the ball, it is a confidence issue between a player or 2. I would like to see a turnaround in that, and I am excited to see if BBZ can really turn the gas pedal on and not take their foot off of it.